What's going on, boys and girls? Today, we're taking a look at the first matchup on UFC 287, a clash between two of the more exciting bantamweights on the roster. Adrian Yanez, who's riding a 9-fight unbeaten streak, steps into the cage to defend that streak against his first top 10 challenger in Rob Font. Today, we'll take a look at the past of both fighters, and using the film, I will try to guide us to the best bet while keeping us away from a bad bet. This is Bet Breakdown on Combat Sports Central, and let's get straight into it. Yanez has a long background in the sport of kickboxing. Beginning when he was a child, that background shows itself in Yanez's fights. Yanez is a tough mother. In July of 2021, Randy Costa brutalized Yanez early with both jabs and head kicks. Costa was plus 187 coming into the fight, but by halfway through the third round, the line completely flipped, with Costa being minus 245 by the end of the first round. Costa outlanded Yanez 57-33 in that round. However, by the back half of it, Yanez started to find his form as Costa appeared to slow. Yanez flipped his style. Instead of allowing himself to be pushed backwards trying to counter, instead Adrian Yanez decided to go forward. He was still countering when Costa threw the jab. Yanez was throwing his own jab in the face of Costa. Yanez, who does prefer to back up and counter strike, really showed that his game is very deep when it comes to the striking because he can't pressure forward, but he was able to land more powerful shots being on the front step. Costa was having to jab off the back foot, and as long as he parried, he was able to throw back some pretty heavy leather. And as the pressure continued to fatigue Costa, we saw the beauty of Yanez's boxing combinations and power, which all led up to the end of this fight. Rob Font entered the bantamweight top 15 back in April of 2017. Just over a year later, he moved into the top 10 and has been a top 10 fighter ever since. It's just recently, however, where he's made a jump in his own career, main eventing his last 3 events. Rob Font is an exciting fighter in his own right, with 3 bonuses in his last 5 fights and 6 finishes in his 9 UFC wins. His latest run has shown how exciting he is. He, like Yanez, loves to box and substitutes power with ridiculous output. Font has landed more significant strikes than 12 of his total 14 UFC opponents. Rob Font's most recent fight against Chito Vera was a loss, but he shattered the single fight record for both significant strikes thrown and landed for the bantamweight division. Rob's patience and output frustrated Vera in the first and second round. Flipping between southpaw and conventional, Rob did not skip a beat early. The biggest weakness in these rounds came when defending the kicks of Chito Vera both to the legs and to the body. But as the fight went on, Font was on the receiving end of big moments towards the end of rounds that gave Chito confidence. A confidence that wasn't showing in the first rounds. Chito is so dangerous when he finds a groove, and although with the Sandhagen fight fresh in our minds, I believe Vera is a top 3 striker when he's confident. The first knockdown came at the end of the second round with a Vera lead left hook. At the end of the third round, Chito Vera dropped Font with a counter right followed by a knee up the middle. And finally, in the fourth round, Chito landed a beautiful side head kick that wobbled and dropped Font again. With all of the above noted, however, Font was still the aggressor for a majority of the fight. For the result, these damaging shots paired with the long distance ability of Vera was Font's downfall. 3 knockdowns were too much to overcome and Rob would lose a unanimous decision. However, for my purpose here, it showed that Rob Font is tough. And although he might get dropped in a fight, I don't think the cardio is going to give out on him at all. This guy, output machine, is willing to work. 3-round fight's going to be nothing for Font. Overall, this fight has serious fight of the night potential. Yanez tends to be a matchmaker's dream when it comes to booking him against an opponent, and I think Rob Font's style will perfectly play into putting on an amazing fight in this spot. The style plus momentum, I feel like this fight is supposed to go the way of Yanez in terms of storylines. However, I think Rob Font is an extremely tough, extremely durable, and extremely hungry guy for the bantamweight division. I think the stand-up will look extremely even. In my opinion, Yanez wears damage a little bit better and has walked through opponent punches on more occasions. However, you can't ignore the fact that Font has had a much tougher strength of schedule facing off against the top of the division in fight night main events, whereas Yanez really hasn't even broken into that top 15 yet. I think this is a great spot for Yanez, however. And the lines properly reflect this. Yanez coming into the fight around minus 184. You can find him minus 175. Again, I think the line is going to sit here pretty stagnant coming up to UFC 287. And I really don't know where to lean here. But I hope I've brought you guys some information. I think if in the grappling, I haven't spoke about the grappling yet. I think if anybody is going to engage in it, it's going to be Rob Font. We've seen him go for takedowns. Chito Vera fight, Jose Aldo fight. He's gone for takedowns, but neither guy are significant or game plan wrestling. Rob Font might in this fight because Yanez is such a great striker, and I think we've seen less of Yanez grappling, but I favor Yanez just like the lines favor Yanez. So I really don't know where to go with this fight. I might look for a round. Under, I think, is going to maybe have some value with the fact that Rob Font is really tough and goes to decision against top guys. But I really do think Yanez is very, very tough. In the Discord, I will most likely give a pick for this fight. But that is my breakdown. I hope you guys enjoyed. If I'm missing something, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comment section below. And if you enjoy this type of content, make sure you subscribe to Combat Sports Central. But that'll do it for me today, guys. Peace out.